Hello everyone, I'm Normie, and today I want to make a Work of Life role tier list as many viewers has requested. Um, Before we go into the tier list, I want to make a disclaimer. If you are not playing in high level, you don't have to follow this tier list because any role in current patch are viable and every role they are able to win. So you don't really have to follow this tier list if you are just playing for fun. So with the disclaimer being made, let's get started. So how do I rate if the role is strong or not? First of all, resistance to global events such as economic crash or heatwave event. So economic crash affects some full worker roles, causing them to gain less salary and work XP. And then heat wave events, these kind of negative events will make questers such as adventurer or hybrid artists feel very uncomfortable to play because they have to run around a lot. And second of all, the competitiveness to secret missions and arcades. So, secret missions and arcades are very important in 1v1 scenario or 3-player scenario. Um, each secret mission win is 600 score in 30 round game, and one arcade game win is equals to 450 score in 30 round game. So this is very important for fewer player game, but it's really not that important in more player scenarios such as 4 to 6 player games, because secret missions and arcades can be separated to different person that will make the score conversion like quest much more important in more player more player scenario. So the third of all is PvP capability. So this is very easy to understand. For example, if you are playing senior and if someone attacks with Sengus to block your working place, uh, like it will make this role very hard because this role has movement problem. It either has to go to park, which basically spends double amount of movements to the park to unblock using the Sengus, or the role has to go to job office to change their job. Like uh, this kind of role are very vulnerable to PvP actions. The role is also very vulnerable to impulse curfew because senior has a complaint action, which in most situations the complaint action has stress reduction, so the role doesn't have to go to sleep. But impulse curfew will force the role either have to go to bank to store their money to avoid the fine penalty, or they have to go back, which spend more movement to just sleep to avoid the fine. Like how a role reacts to PvP action is also an important factor. So another thing is score conversion. So the most efficient way to gain score is through quest. So uh, some quester like uh, adventurer, uh, artist, maybe mystic as well, but I don't think this role is really that good in hybrid build. Uh, this factor is much more important in 4 to 6 player game because secret missions and arcades should mostly be separated to different person, and then uh, the more quests you do, the better you get your score. Uh, just because secret missions and arcades will be separated to different person, the role that has the ability to convert money to score efficiently will mostly able to win against others in more player scenario. So we have talked about how I rate if the role is strong or not. Let's talk about how I rate each tier, uh, S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, or the Saint Help tier. So um, I think there is a misunderstanding of how people think the role is strong, because I've sometimes see some players said the role is so OP because they can get lots of money. Something like senior and maybe scavenger or artist. I think money. Many people have misunderstanding of how the role has so many money that they are very OP, which in my opinion is just not the case. Like even if you have many money and you cannot convert score efficiently, uh, you just can't do much and you will just lose the game. So I think after you watch this video, you should know if the role is strong or not. Isn't depend on how much money you make. It's more depend on how much score you can make. So S-tier role, in my opinion, is a overpowered role. Like if you choose the role, you automatically win the game. In most situations, this in any kind of situations, this role has no weakness across all tiers or even player count scenarios. The role is just this strong. You don't really need to worry about losing the game. So A tier role, solid role. It performs well in most situations. Uh, the role has some certain flaws, but it still doesn't affect how good the role is in current state. Also, if sometimes the luck favors the role, there are some possibilities that you can win against S-tier role. You just need to play better, or and then the luck falls upon you. Then maybe you can just win against S-tier role. But in most situations, they are just solid. These roles are very good. You don't have to worry about. And then the next one is beauty role. They are viable role. They can perform if played well. But these roles tend to have certain drawbacks that limit their capabilities. Um, it is hard for them to win against A-tier role, and even impossible to win against S-tier role. So, in my opinion, these are playable. It's just you need to make you need to play so much better just for it to perform, just for it to win against the tiers above them. So this is where I rate them in B tier. So C tier, in my opinion, they are underperforming roles. These roles have huge disadvantage playing against roles that are above them. These roles has their own problem they need to fix, and they are really struggling to just perform in all kinds of situations. And then the last tier, which I call it a sent help tier. The role is in dire need of buff, and it is very hard for them to sustain themselves even in the game, and you won't feel good when you are playing this role against others. So first of all, Workaholic, in my opinion, is A tier role. This is an easy A tier role. I kind of wanted to put S tier, but considering the role um, has RNG, which uh, if you don't get a coffee breaker, uh, the tempo will be interrupted because you have to go to eat food because you cannot gamble coffee breaker. But in most situations, I think getting a coffee breaker is usual, is normal. Like this doesn't really affect how the role feels good or not. And I think the ability to gain double money and double work XP makes the role very very good. uh, Workaholic can uh, finish their working on round 22, which is very insane. They they can be the early attackers on secret missions and arcades. Like they can initiate attacks very very early on others, and they are, I think, the dominator of the game. The I the thing is, this role still has certain drawbacks, just like what I've said before, but it really isn't affect much, and the ability to finish the working first is just so strong that I will put it on high A tier, even maybe S tier, but I think high A tier is much safer choice. So next up is Shopaholic. I think this is easiest here. Like the role is just so overpowered in my opinion. Uh, Either work the full worker build or the fisher build. These two builds are just outperforming other roles. Worker build and fisher build. They just because the coupon they have in gym, and then the coupon in Cluckers also helps as well. They will make their management of attributes very very easy. And when Shopaholic is buying furniture, uh, Shopaholic can also gain attributes from just buying the furniture, which is very good. The role um, is dominating right now, especially feature build in hard difficulty. They are very good. I just don't think there are any drawbacks, any flaws to the role. Like this role is just straight up overpowered. So next up, adventure. I think it's easy A tier. Um, this role can like the ability to convert money to score is just so efficient. Adventurer can do lots of quests, and just by doing lots of quests, they can outperform other roles in 4 to 6 player scenario. The role has its drawbacks is they are very vulnerable. They are not very good at secret missions and arcades, and the role is not that good dealing against heatwave event because this role has to run around a lot. However, the role score conversion is just so good. In my opinion, it's the best role that can do score conversion efficiently. So, which is why, in my opinion, in California, the map California. This role, I think it can even make it to S0, but in China, the role can be falling a bit, but which is why I put it on high A tier role because this is much more of a safer place for the role to be. Yeah. And also the role has quest RNG, so if the RNG favors then it can sometimes beat S tier role. But sometimes if the RNG isn't that good, maybe it will be on the low A tier role. So which is why I think putting on A tier is much more reasonable. So next up, senior. I think senior is the easy B tier. This role also has two different builds, which is for worker build and fisher build. So in my opinion, in current patch, fishing senior is just better than for worker senior. The reason why I put this role in B tier is because the role is very vulnerable to global events. So I think a heat wave is very devastating for senior. Like the road just can't move. Because the movement speed of the road is very slow. Um, the slower your character is, the heat bar accumulates faster, which means this road just cannot move so much. Like it punishes the road so much. And if you are playing a full worker senior, if you also get an economy crash, this is much more devastating because um, your salary and experience will be limited. Uh, the feature road, in my opinion, in current patch is just better, but both builds, in my opinion, are just not that good uh, uh, when competing to secret missions and arcades. And the role cannot do quest. I have tried some hybrid builds on senior. They are very hard to do quest because of their movement. And their score conversion are just straight up bad. Like there is just no way I put it on A tier because of its movement capability. And it is also very bad at PvP capability, which I have talked about. The Sand Goose action and the Impulse Curfew action will cause senior to uh, live so much harder, like it will cost more just for the role to just for the role to perform. So next up, Drifter. I think the role used to be S tier because of the academy food being overpowered. But in my opinion, right now, I think I maybe even B tier, high B. I really can't decide whether Drifter or Senior is stronger because Senior's Fisher build is very solid, and I think the problem of the Drifter in current patch is the happiness insufficient. The role just because uh, this role used to play around Academy build uh, because it has decent salary and then work SP are very good and then it has free food. Like I really don't think Drifter has other builds that can makes them to A tier or S tier because I think in my opinion they are struggling right now just because of the academy nerf. They you either have to go for uh Clarkers because uh, food s- a food source is very important. If you go for crackers, the salary is just too low, and then you have to recover your health and hygiene. But if you go for academy build, and the academy build is just it it really isn't that overpowered right now. Like uh, the salary is nerfed. It has happiness problem, which I really can't find a suitable route for the role to work. So which is why I put them in B tier, because in my opinion they are just struggling right now on attributes. And then let's talk about Scavenger. I think this role is A tier. I know some of them, some of the players will think it should just be S tier, but in my opinion, this role has two different sides. The RNG really makes the role either being very good or very bad. If you are very unlucky with the artifact, I would say maybe a high B tier role. But if you are very lucky with the artifact spawning very fast, I think easy S tier uh, is possible, right? Because the artifact are very important for the role. The earlier they spawn, the better for this role to perform. But like in current patch, in my opinion, the role suffers from, so if economy crash happens, the role is very hard to get to work level 7. Um, it also it has decent secret mission and arcade capability, and then it's also solid on PvP. The score conversion uh, isn't really that viable because the role has to go to scavenge, and scavenge takes time. Which, if you are not getting artifact very early, then you are mostly just wasting your time. And yeah, I think luck really makes the role either very good or very bad. Like there's sometimes in between, but which is why I put them on low A tier, because the timing of the artifact are very important. If you get it early, then you can perform very good. But if it spawns very late, like you are very unlucky with every artifact, then it should just be uh, on B tier. So the next up is Mystic. I think uh, I think maybe a high A tier, but low A tier is also possible. The reason why I think I will put it here because uh, people think the role has RNG, which makes the role being either good or bad. But in my opinion, the role can be very good because in recent findings, I find that the role you can actually use the tracker that I write, where you can track all the zodiac sequence and the zodiac to see uh, what boon are left. So you can just plan accordingly using this tracker, and then this is very good for Mystic. So you can actually plan according to this tracker and make a uh, huge profit from it. So like maybe for example you have Aries, Aquarius, Pisces, and Virgo. You know these four are coming soon enough. You can uh, uh, prepare for Aries, so your if your education is stuck on lower level, then you should just preemptively do education and wait for areas to come so you can profit from it. So um, this role has certain regularity. Um, yes, the role has certain RNG into it, but in my opinion, this shouldn't affect much if you have this checker. The role, uh, because the burn is so powerful, I think maybe even high A tier is possible, but I think I will put it in the middle. So um, so I think the role is just very consistent for me. Many people talked about the role being too much luck. The sequence sometimes can be good and sometimes can be bad for them. But in my opinion, in my recent findings, there are certain regularities on this role you can follow, and you can record them using this tracker and plan accordingly. So I think this is a solid A tier. Uh, Sometimes it might even outperform S tier, but I think put it on here is much a safer choice. And then next up, hacker. Uh, I really don't like this role. Like it's either a C or a B. Like the problem of this role is the heat. Sometimes when you hack, even maybe let's say you just hack cluckers, and then you just get pinged on 5% heat. That is very frustrating, and it will reset all your available hacks. Like they will all reset to 0. Like I really don't like this role because the hacks, it is time consuming, and then if it fails, it is very punishing. So like let's say even if the hacks are working and you are never getting caught, the effect is still limited because the effect just isn't really that strong or that viable. Uh, like they are just not that good in my opinion. So the role, in my opinion, you can convert score efficiently if you are doing hybrid builds, but hybrid build also relies on luck. This role, if you're getting busted constantly, then you of course you can convert score really that good. But if you are doing a hybrid build and the luck favors you, then you can definitely convert score very efficiently. And the role is in current state is very bad at secret missions and arcades because you hack uh, several buildings. It takes time, and you mostly get to work level 7 on round 26, which is very late. So I think the competitiveness to secret missions and arcades, the role is just isn't that good. And yeah, the last role, artist, I think is A tier. Uh, the role, in my opinion, is just the same like adventurer. The build artist has two different builds. So one of them is work level 7, past quest. This we call it uh, artist hybrid build, which you do quest and work along the way. This build is very bad at secret missions and arcades, but it has very good score conversion. So, which is why it is kind of the same as adventure. Maybe sometimes it's just better than adventure, but I think this role uh, it has really bad secret missions and arcade ability, and the score conversion is great, but yeah, the another build is you do six work level 6 and then work towards level 7, and then you compete against other roles using secret missions and arcades. This is possible, but I think the competitiveness to secret missions and arcades using 7-9 for worker build is still not that good in my opinion. The role has to the role can finish work level 7 on round 26, but round 26 is just so late. I don't think it's even possible for this role to outperform. Maybe let's say Workaholic, or maybe even Mystic and Scavenger. Like the role just isn't that good in secret missions and arcades. This role it has lots of money, and people have said the role is OP, which in my opinion it's currently in a good state. I don't think the role needs a buff or it needs a nerf. The role has they need to do so much just to compete against other roles in A tier and even S tier. So yeah, I think this is what I think in current patch. How I think each role perform in patch 1.3.1. So if you have any questions about or doubts about this tier list, you can leave below. I will answer you in the comment section. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in next video. Bye.